My colleague Slindela Masigane is in Alexandra to find out how some liquor outlets are reacting this morning to these latest restrictions. Slindela, a very good morning to you. I understand you are outside a Chisanyama in Alex. What kind of reaction? You've been up and about in and around Johannesburg this morning. Now you're in Alex. What kind of reaction are you getting post the new restrictions announced by Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa last night?
Well, as you'd understand, Bradan, that, establishments like Amachisanyama, Amateven in the townships really only start operating at around 10 a.m. in the morning. And we know that with the regulations that are now going to be enforced, that these establishments are also going to have to look at their operating hours and ensure that their customers as well as their employees are leaving the establishments at least the latest by around 10:30, so that at least employees can also be home by 11 o'clock. We know that the curfew has now been extended and that liquor outlets will also have to operate only during the week, that is Monday to Thursdays, and only operating until around 6 p.m. I am in Alexandra, and what I noticed when we were coming in with Jewel is that there's certainly a lot less people in the township. You can see behind me that people have actually already started to leave the province, should I say, to leave the townships and go to go enjoy their festive season. But here at one of the popular Chisanyamas in Alexandra, known as Joe's Butcher, you can see that the establishment is actually getting ready or preparing to start accepting customers later today. Please just mind these shaky visuals. Joel is just trying to make his way inside. And as you can see, it is quite a small establishment. So it's places like these that have been identified as places where we are experiencing super spreader events. So an establishment like Joe's Butcher, like this particular Chisanyama, is going to be expected to ensure that they don't exceed the limit of patrons that they need to have. So an establishment like this, where we have an inside area, we have an outside area as well, they're going to have to see what their 50% capacity is going to be. If I ask Joel to just show you on the other side of the area, we do see that there is a place for patrons to be able to sit outside. And we heard the president actually yesterday emphasizing the fact that if people are going to go out, they need to ensure that, or try to at least be in places where there is well ventilation and enjoy the South African sun. So in places like Joe's Butcher, they're saying that, they've been operating under a different set of time. So they're actually opening earlier, in fact, to ensure that they are able to ensure that their patrons can leave on time. And they're saying that they're going to actually close the establishment earlier just to ensure that they are adhering to COVID-19 regulations. Yeah,
and that curfew, of course, starting at 11 p.m. From tonight to 4 a.m. Are you getting a sense there that they are really where you are? For example, at Joe's Butcher in Alex, they're doing their best to make sure the space is going to be safe in terms of that very important social distancing that is required.
Certainly, I am getting that sense, Bradan. I'm just going to try and move a little bit closer to see if I can't maybe grab one of the employees. I can see he just left for a moment. But what I have noticed is that you can see that early in the morning, they've already started with cleaning processes to ensure that the space is neat, that it's tidy for its patrons. I have seen hand sanitizers as well. And of course, they're ensuring that the area that is a bit close still has some open air, actually, that is coming through it, should I say. So it's not completely closed. And I think once the day progresses and we kind of get a sense of the patrons that are coming in, just to be able to speak to them, we can also get a better sense of whether they're going to still feel comfortable after yesterday's speech from the president, because I think for a lot of people there was a lot of anxiety. I think that's also befallen them in terms of what the president had to say around this possibly being the last Christmas for many South Africans. So you may find that many South Africans are going to be quite hesitant to come out. I'm going to try and speak to one of the employees here. Babunjan.
Right, sis.
Ngiyaphila baba ngiyazi ukuthi azange wasimamela ispeech izolo kodwa ngitshelile ngama regulations yokuthi ama-tavern azovala early nokuthi utshwala sizothenga during the week. Uzizwa kanjani ngalawo ama-regulation?
Ngizizwa kahle izilonga ama-tavern azovalwa ngo-11. Shoot isikhathi sokuthi siphuze sikhona kuhle utshwala bungavalwanga nje. Right.
Bawusaba yini mhlawumbe ukuthi upresident uzavala yonke into futhi?
Bengithuke kakhulu ngoba utshwala siphila ngabo so masovaliwe esinye stress kuhle makuthi yena uyehlise isikhathi but utshwala buyatholakala siyabonga ngalo.
Njengalo singena ku festive season siya ku Christmas kusasa uDecember 16 ungathini kwamanye abantu ukuthi basiphathe kanjani?
Abanye abantu bangaziphatha kahle ukuthi umuntu uma sephuzile angeke khona ukuthi esiphathe kahle fana nami nje masemphuzile angisabambeki sengigcwala yonke le ndawo so utshwala buya control umuntu akakhona ucontrol utshwala masephuzile yabe ngaziyenzi utshwala.
Kulungile ukuthi vele upresident alimit ukuthi sithenga nini nokuthi indawo zivale early nakhona.
Right nakhona ngoba vele bekuvala u12 ngo12 thina sikhona ukuphuza ushaya u12 ngoba thina asifuna ukulala kahle sifuna ukulala ekseni ngoba 5 so uma kuvala ngo12 angikhona ukuthi ngiyephuza ngoba shuthi kahle awukabe right.
And nakhona mabe kuthi bayavala ke izofaka umsebenzi wakhe engcupheni angithi
makuthi bavala utshwala bazofaka engcopheni but utshwala kahle thina asidili ngabo kakhulu sidila ngabo maybe ngeSunday laba kahle sidila ngenyama kakhulu.
All right, President, if I can just summarize quickly for our viewers that couldn't understand. He was saying that he actually appreciates the efforts by the president not to completely close to completely close economic activity, especially around alcohol sales. At an establishment like Hygiene, where they do work with alcohol, this is how their patrons come and enjoy the space in the area. And then he was saying that he admits that he himself, even when he drinks, he realizes that he doesn't completely adhere to regulations, and also it's kind of difficult to want to go home and sleep. So he also actually appreciates that the curfew has been extended because it's going to actually force people to stay at home.
Thank you very much, Linda Masigana in Alex. There, we will continue, of course, shortly looking at another establishment in and around Johannesburg. But now we know